Good morning, students. I am B. Sayanna. Working as a lecturer in mathematics at Government Polytechnic Nirmal in the Department of Technical Education of Telangana Government. So today we have to discuss one of the methods, namely Gauss-Jordan method. Gauss-Jordan method, which is useful to solve the system of linear equations in 2 or 3 variables, and which is mentioned, it is in our prescribed syllabus of advanced engineering mathematics first year first semester syllabus. Okay, already this is a third method which we are using to solve those system of equations by using matrices and determinants. Already we discussed 2 methods in last 2 sessions, matrix inversion method, and second one is Cramer's rule. Okay, Cramer's rule is sometimes also called as determinants method. I also clarified you why the Cramer's method is also called as determinants method, because of there we are using only the concept of determinant of a square matrix, that is 4 times. Therefore it is called as a determinants method also. Okay, determinants method. So the first in the first method, that is namely matrix method, which we discussed very clearly. Just there we have to find first the inverse matrix of coefficient matrix, what we are saying as capital A, which can be formed by using the coefficients of x, y, z in the given system of linear equations. Okay, for that matrix we have to find A inverse. That's why we are using that A inverse matrix, therefore that is called as matrix inversion method. And in the second one it is called as Cramer's rule or determinants method, because we are using only determinants. Okay, now the thing today we are going to discuss is Gauss-Jordan method. Gauss-Jordan method, it is introduced by this famous mathematician Gauss-Jordan. That's why we are saying it is an Gauss-Jordan method. Okay, it is also one of the most important important method for both of your exams and your entrance exams at anywhere. Okay, and sometimes it is the method is just like it is a test of your, it is a test, it is a small test for your logic also. Okay, so we will explain how the logic will be used there. Okay, so today we are going to discuss this Gauss-Jordan method, which will be used to solve the system of linear equations in 3 variables. Okay, so let us start now. Here today before going to discuss about this Gauss-Jordan method or solving some problems using this method, you have to clearly know about this elementary operations in matrices. Okay, I think it is already discussed in previous sessions, where I think it is at in the session of properties of determinants. There also we used this operations, row operations and column operations. So the same thing today we are also using here. The same thing also here we have to use now today. Okay, so what is the method here? We have to okay, so today first we go for this elementary operations discussion. So here, if rows, two rows or two columns also, two rows are interchanged. Okay, row operations, column operations means we may sometimes go for this interchange of rows. Sometimes we go for addition of one row with another row, or sometimes we go for division of one row with another row. Okay, and multiplying with a fixed number to some row and adding to another row, like this. So many things we use while solving these questions in this Gauss-Jordan method. So that's why those operations will be taken while doing this problems in this method. So that row operations, or sometimes it is also column operations may be taken, but in this one we just consider only row operations. Okay, so for that row operation, so what we are going to take in the question, in the solving of problems, that symbols may be used. So in that first one, if we interchange two rows, R1 R2 or R2 R3 R1, suppose if you have to interchange R1 and R2, that is row 1 and row 2, first row and second row you have to mutually interchange, then it can be written as R1 double implication R2. R1 double arrow R2 means R1 will be took the place of 2 and vice versa. R2 will be took the place of R1. They mutually interchanged. So how you can change? Just to change mutually interchange rows means corresponding elements will be mutually interchanged. That's why the total rows will be changed. Similarly, if you have to go for R2 R3 interchanged, then R2 double implication R3 or R2 double arrow R3. That means you have to write R3 in the place of R2, R2 in the place of R3. Or if you want to change R3 and R1, then R3 double implication R1 or R1 double implication R3, like that. This is the interchange of, this is a notation for interchange of any two rows. Interchange of any two rows. And another thing we may be considered sometimes while solving the questions, multiplying the elements of any row by a non-zero scalar. Multiplying the elements of any row by a non-zero scalar. That means if you have to multiply all the elements of a row with some fixed number, then that notation will be considered as, for example, here we written one example, R1 implies 5R1. R1 arrow 5R1 means in the coming matrix, and in the means I mean the matrix which we have to write in next step, you have to change the R1 by multiplying all the elements of R1 with 5. Okay, so R1 implies 5R1 means you have to multiply all that first row elements with 5. Okay, or suppose you have to multiply R2 with 2, then you have to write like R2 implies 5R2. That means you have to multiply all the elements of second row with 2. Like this R3 or R4, anything is there, you have to does exist for the scalar multiplication of a row or column. It may be considered for columns also. C2 implies 2C2 means multiply the second column with 2. Okay. Next, subtracting from the elements of one row the corresponding elements of any row multiplied by a non-zero scalar. Subtracting from the elements of one row the corresponding elements of any row multiplied by a non-zero scalar. So it is the, I think it is the, there are two operations are there. First thing, we are subtracting one row from another row. Before doing this subtraction, we have to multiply some row in the rows what we are taking with multiply with some number, fixed number. So that's why subtracting from the elements of one row the corresponding elements of any row multiplied by a non-zero scalar. For example, we are taking as R1 minus 2R2. R1 implies R1 minus 2R2 means you have to subtracting the corresponding elements of R2 which are already 2 from the corresponding elements of R1. That is the meaning. R1 minus 2R2. R1 tends to R1 minus 2R2. You are writing the new row R1. Okay. We are writing the new R1 by replacing the existing R1 with the values of R1 minus 2R2. Means by first you have to multiply 2 to all the elements of R2. Then those products will be subtracted from the corresponding elements of R1, like that. C2 tends to C2 plus C3, that is column 2 plus column 3 will be added. How you can add? Corresponding elements, that is C2 in the place of C2 you have to write down the sum of the corresponding elements of C2 and C3. Or R2 tends to R2 minus R3. R2 tends to R2 minus R3 means you have to write the new R2 in the next step of by subtracting R3 elements, that is third row elements, from corresponding elements of second row elements. Okay. So the first thing what we said here, R1 tends to R1 minus 2R2. It is important one. This type of operations will be useful while solving these questions using this Gauss-Jordan method. Okay. For example, you have to take sometimes R1 tends to R1 plus 3R2. R1 plus 3R2. Then you have to write the new R1 in the next step of matrix by multiply the second row with 3 to all elements of second row. Then add them to the corresponding elements of R1. So the resultant elements are the elements of new R1 which has to be put in the matrix, like that. Sometimes you have to multiply both the rows with some fixed number. Suppose R1 tends to 2R1 plus 3R2. 2R1 plus 3R2. Then how you have to, what you have to do? First you have to multiply the first row with 2, second row with 3. Then add them. 2R1 plus 3R2 will be placed at the position of first row in the next matrix. Okay, like that. Sometimes not only do operations with R1 R2 only, you have to do operations using R1 R2 or R1 R3 or R3 R1 or R3 R2, whatever it may be. Okay, but one thing you have to write, what the row or which row is going to be changed will be placed first in the operation symbol. Here R1 minus 2R2 means the first row indicating here R1. So we are changing R1. That's why we are writing as R1 tends to means R1 is going to change with the resultant element R1 minus 2R2. Similarly, if we have to change R2, then we start with R2 tends to, like that. If we have to change R3, we write it as R3. R3 tends to somewhat the operations we are taking. Okay, so same operations, same notations also will be used in column operations also, elementary column operations. Okay, same will be used, same notations also will be used. There we have to use the letter C, column 1 C1, column 2 C2, column 3 C3, like that. Okay, so another point is, two matrices capital A and B are said to be equivalent if one can be obtained from the other by a finite number of elementary operations and is denoted by A is similar to B. Two matrices capital A and B equivalent if one can be obtained from the other by a finite number of elementary operations and is denoted by A is similar to B. You know, equality of matrices or equal matrices. Okay, when we say two matrices are equal, we have a definition. Say suppose capital A and capital B are two matrices, are said to be equal if they are of same order and all the corresponding elements are equal. Then we say it is A equals to B. So that is the equality of matrices. Similarly, another thing we have is another relation between two matrices, that is the relation of equality. It is the similarity relation. So when we say A is similar, the matrix capital A is similar to capital B, is two matrices A and B are said to be equivalent if one can be obtained from the other by a finite number of elementary operations and is denoted by A similar to B. So suppose you have given a matrix, say it is capital A. So by applying some elementary row operations or elementary column operations, finally you got a matrix, another matrix, say it is B. Okay, then those two A and B are called similar matrices. Okay, that is the relation between A and B. Okay, so friends, please remember these things. Main we are using in this methods are row operations. There are 3 or 4 types of operations are there. The one thing is interchange of rows, and another one is multiplying a row with a fixed number, that is second one, and addition or subtraction of any two rows, and addition or subtraction of two rows by taking some product of one row or not. Okay, like that R1 minus 2 R2 means you have to change R1 with the resultant elements of R1 minus 2 R2, that is subtract the twice of second row elements from the corresponding elements of R1, like that. So these are the main operations we have to do. Sometimes we also multiplies with rows with fractions also, like that 1 by 2, 2 by 3, like that also. So what it may be, that is also product like this. So these are the row operations are most important. So that's why so which operations we have to perform while doing this questions means it depends upon your logic, depends upon your practice, depends upon your maturity. Okay, depends upon your concentration, like this. All these things will decide what operations we have to use to solve the given questions. Okay, so next going to next slide. Now same for this method also we will be given a system of linear equations in 3 variables, say x, y. Okay, then we need at least 3 equations to solve them. Say those equations are a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z equal to d2, a3x plus b3y plus c3z equal to d3. Okay, and it is also, you know, it is the above system of equations can be put in the matrix equation form, like a into x equal to d, where a is a coefficient matrix, capital X is a variable matrix, capital D is a constant matrix. Okay, so the coefficient matrix capital A is, what the coefficients are there? There are the coefficients x, y, z in each equation. So same coefficients will be put in the same row. That is coefficients of x, y, z in one equation will be taken as one row. Similarly, in second equation coefficients will be second row. Third equation coefficients will be third row, like that. And capital X is a solution matrix or variable matrix. So the given variables in that equations are x, y, z. It should be taken as column matrix. And capital D is the constant matrix. The constants will be kept on the right side of the equation, and those will be taken as a column matrix, namely capital D, D1, D2, D3. You know, if you put these three matrices in that equation A into x equal to D, and after putting them in that equation by multiplying A and x, you will get automatically capital D. Okay, I already explained this thing in last two sessions. Okay, because A into x can be performed because number of columns in capital A is 3, which is equals to number of columns in x. Okay, so you have to multiply first row to the first column, that is a single column of x, that is a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1. It should like that, a2x plus b2y plus c2z, a3x plus b3y plus c3z equals to d. Both are equal and of same order. So by comparing corresponding elements, we will get the given equations. That's why this A into x equal to d is called the matrix equation form of given system of equations. So here also the same thing what we done in that two methods. The first that basic initial stage while solving the given system of equations in the matrix inversion method, or in Cramer's rule, or in Gauss-Jordan method, you have to put you have to write the matrix equation form. Okay, by taking three matrices, capital A, capital X and capital D. That means you have to write the three matrices: capital A coefficient matrix, capital X variable matrix, capital D constant matrix. Okay, so next so after completion, after writing these three matrices A, X and D, then you have to go construct the matrix with the coefficient of x, y, z and the constants on the right side of the equations. Such a matrix is called augmented matrix of the given equations. So here the process starts. Originally the Gauss-Jordan method process starts from here. So after say capital X, capital D matrices, you have to you have to construct a matrix, namely augmented matrix. How it can be formed? It can be formed by joining two matrices, that is capital A and capital D. Yeah. That's why we are saying construct the matrix with the coefficients of x, y, z, that is a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3, namely it is capital A. Okay, and it should be joined with capital D, that is d1, d2, d3. Okay, that is called augmented matrix A of D. We are adding joining both the matrices A and D into same matrix. That's why A of D. Okay, reduce the above augmented matrix. So after forming or after constructing this matrix, namely augmented matrix A of D, you have to reduce the this augmented matrix by using appropriate row operations to the form of 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma by applying suitable elementary row operations. Okay, the augmented matrix what we are constructing, like A1, B1, C1, D1, A2, B2, C2, D2, A3, B3, C3, D3 should be reduced to the form 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. Okay, so the augmented matrix of course is also 3/4 of the order, and it is also the reduced matrix is also 3/4. Okay, so these two are called similar matrices. Therefore then we say the solution of the given system of equation by the similar matrix is x equal to alpha, y equal to beta, z equal to gamma. Okay, you have to remember here one thing. The augmented matrix is constructing by using capital A and capital D matrices from the given system of equations. So by suitable elementary row operations, it is reducing to such form 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. In this one, you observe that this matrix capital A, A1 B1 C1, A2 B2 C2, A3 B3 C3 is reducing to the form 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, namely identity matrix of third order. Okay, so it is easy to remember like that. The reduced matrix should be of the form in identity matrix of order 3 with alpha, beta, gamma another column. So 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta and 0 0 1 gamma. Finally, this fourth column alpha, beta, gamma in this reduced matrix is called the solution of the given system of equations. X equal to alpha, y equal to beta, z equal to gamma. So here no particular method, no particular formula or no particular technique is not mentioned, is not there while using this Gauss-Jordan method to solve equations. So that's why I initially at the starting of this session I told this Gauss-Jordan method completely depends upon your logic, because you have to reduce some that what we say that augmented matrix to some form, namely 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. Okay, so how you can reduce to that form? By just applying suitable row operations. Suitable row operations. So it depends upon your knowledge. Suitable, you have to select suitable row operations. Okay, so suitable row operations will be selected, which will be finally turn into the matrix into this form. So that's why the logic of your knowledge will be more useful in this method. Okay, so friends, just once again this procedure in a simple way. When you are asked to solve some system of equations in using this Gauss-Jordan method, first write the capital A matrix, capital X matrix, capital D matrix, which are in the form of matrix equation form Ax equal to D. Then join these two matrices A and D into one matrix, namely it is augmented matrix A of D. That is A1 B1 C1 D1, A2 B2 C2 D2, A3 B3 D3 C3. Okay, finally by applying suitable row operations, you have to reduce the augmented matrix to some prescribed form 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. So in this reduced matrix, the fourth column which is remained, alpha, beta, gamma, is the values of the variables x, y, z respectively. Nothing but solution of the given system of equations. Okay, so now we go for one example which will help you to understand this method. Okay, our problem is here, our question is solve the following equations by Gauss-Jordan method. The equations are 2x minus y plus 3z equal to 9, x plus y plus z equal to 6, and x minus y plus z equals to 2. Okay, once again I will repeat the equations. 2x minus y plus 3z equal to 9, x plus y plus z equal to 6, x minus y plus z equals to 2. Okay, now you have to write these equations into matrix equation form. Then you will get three matrices, namely A, X, D. So A is 2 minus 1 3, 1 1 1, 1 minus 1 1. Capital X is a column matrix as X, Y, Z. Capital D is also column matrix as 9 6 2. Okay, so this is the A and X, and D matrices. And the first step after writing these three matrices is to form or to construct a augmented matrix by joining A and D matrices. So just put them A and D matrices into single matrix. It is called augmented matrix. So then the augmented matrix AG, okay, the augmented matrix of the given equation is 2 minus 1 3 9 1 1 1 6 1 minus 1 1 2. Okay, so this is augmented matrix. Now by applying suitable or appropriate row operations, only row operations is used here, no column operations should be allowed here. By applying or by selecting appropriate or proper row operations for this augmented matrix, you have to reduce this matrix finally to a fixed form like 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. Okay, then finally the fourth column which is remaining is called solution of the system. So before going to that one, here one thing I will tell you how you can how that reduced form can be derived easily. First thing, you have to take care that the first element of first row should be 1. First element of first row should be 1 in augmented matrix. That is the thing you have to observe first. So here we are not having like that, we are having 2 as the first element of first row. So that's why, but in the first element of second row or first element of third row we are having 1. So that's why this interchange R1 R2 or R1 R3, anything you may be. So we are interchanging R1 R2. So write it as by notation R1 double implication R2. That means put R1 in the place of R2 and R2 in the place of R1. So now in the next matrix, in the next similar matrix, the first row will be 1 1 1 6, second row is 2 minus 1 3 9, third row is 1 minus 1 1 2. We are not changing third row, keeping it as it is. Okay, so next thing, applying R2 minus R2 tends to R2 minus 2 R1, R3 tends to R3 minus R1. Okay, so after observing that thing, that is first element of first row should be 1, then go for first element of second row and first element of third row. Okay, by selecting suitable row operations, made them as 0. Okay, because finally in the reduced form of that augmented matrix we are having first column as 1 0 0. So that's why after getting 1 at first row first element place, then you have to change these two elements, or you have to change these elements as zeros. So that's why we are having here second element, first element of second row is 2 and first element of third row is 1. Okay, so to make this 2 as 0 using R1, first you have to multiply with 2 to all elements of R1 and then subtract second row from corresponding elements of first row, which are multiplied by 2, and first element of third row is 1 and first element of first row is 1. So by simple subtraction, that is R3 minus R1, you will get first element of third row is 0. That's why we are taking the operations here, R2 as R2 minus 2 R1, R3 as R3 minus R1. Okay, so R2 minus 2 R1, 2 minus 2 0. Here for the second element, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, and R2 minus 2 for third element, 1 minus 6 R2 minus 2R1, R2 minus 2R1, sorry, yeah, in this matter R2 is 3 minus 2 is, so 3 minus 2 is 1. And next fourth element of this row is, that is R2 minus 2R1, 9 minus 12, that is minus 3. So this is the new second row in this reduced matrix. Okay, and the operation used on R3 is R3 minus R1. So directly subtract R3 from directly subtract R1 from R3. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Next minus 1 minus 1, R3 minus R1, minus 1 minus 1 0, minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, and 1 minus 1, sorry, this is 1 minus 1, should be 0, I think, 0. And next in this one R3 minus R1, 2 minus 6, this is minus 4, that is third row of the new matrix. So after applying these two row operations, R2 minus 2R1 and R3 minus R1, we are getting another matrix, reduced matrix, that is 1 1 1 6, 0 minus 3 1 minus 3, 0 minus 2 0 minus 4. Okay, next take the operation R2 minus 2R3, that is now again we are changing this R2 by using R2 minus 2R3. Okay, so R2 minus 2R3, 0 minus 2. Okay, 0 minus R2 minus 2R3, we are applying row operation here only for R2 and R3. Okay, so 0 and minus 3 plus 4, this is R2 minus 2R3, minus 3, and this plus 4 is 1, and 1 minus 0 is 1, and minus 3 plus 8 is plus 5, and the third row will remain as it is, 0 minus 2 0 minus 4. Okay, and next one is applying R1 as R1 minus R2, R3 as R3 plus 2R2, R1 minus R2 and R3 minus R3 as R3 plus 2R2. Now we are changing R1 and R3 using these operations. R1 minus R2, 1 minus 0 1, 1 minus 1 0, 6 minus 5 1. Next R3 plus 2R2, R3 plus 2R2, 0 plus 0 0, minus 2 plus 2 0, and 0 plus 2 2, minus 4 plus 10 is 6, minus 4 plus 10 is 6. Okay, so by taking these two operations, finally we arrived at 1001, 0115, 0026. So the final form which we have to get is 100 alpha, 010 alpha, 001 beta. So just we have to change, or the third element of second row should be changed as 0, and the third element of third row, which is 2, to be changed as 1. So for those things, what operations we have to take is, now R3 should be divided by 2. R3 is altering by taking R3 by 2. So what we are having, R3 0 0 1 3. Okay, sorry, we are having R3 as 0 0 2 6. Okay, so it is getting as R3 by 2 means 0 0 1 3. R3 by 2. Okay, So divide the third row with 2, then we are having third row is 0 0 2 6, so 0 by 2 0, 0 by 2 0, 2 by 2 1, 6 by 2 3. Okay, so the matrix which is obtained is 1 0 0 1, 0 1 1 5, 0 0 1 3. Okay, so next the only thing we have to change is third element of second row. It is 1 but it should be 0. So just you know that you easily observe that the two elements of second and the corresponding elements, I mean the third element of second row and third element of third row are equal, are okay, are same. Therefore simply subtract this R2 from R3. Okay, that's why apply the row operation R2 as R2 minus R3, R2 minus R3. So then no need to change first row, put it as same. So 1 0 0 1, 0 minus 0 0, 1 minus 0 1, again 1 minus 1 is 0, 5 minus 3 is 2, and no need to change the third row also. So 0 0 1 3. What the matrix we are having here? 1 0 0 1, 0 1 0 2, 0 0 1 3, which is in the form of 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 gamma. Okay, 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. So the solution already I told, and while discussing the procedure of Gauss-Jordan method, the last column in this reduced form of the matrix will be the values of variables x, y, z respectively, in which are in given equation system of equations. So here x equal to 1, y equal to 2, z equal to 3, which is the solution of given system of equations. Okay, so just again, I think you all of you observe here no particular formula is there, no particular step is there, no particular row operation is there. Just by considering what the things will be changed or which elements in each row will be changed to 0 or 1. Okay, so one thing you may observe here, the final form of reduced form you have to remember. In that form, the coefficient matrix should be reduced to identity matrix. So that's why you may observe where we have to change 0 and where we have to change it 1. So for that one you have to select the suitable row operations. Okay, that's why here we first R1 and R2 interchanged, because we need first element of first row should be 1, and after that one we take an R2 minus 2R1 and R3 minus R1 operations, because we need element of second row and first element of third row should be 0. Like that, in the next thing minus 2R3 we taken. By R2 minus 2R3 what we got? We got this third element of third row should be 0, because in that form what we have to reduce is also third element is 0. Like that, in the next step R1 minus R2, R3 plus 2R2, and R3 by R2 minus R3. These are the row operations which are used to reduce the coefficient matrix into identity matrix form. Finally, it is in the form of 1 0 0 alpha, 0 1 0 beta, 0 0 1 gamma. The last column will be the solution of system, that is x equal to 1, y equal to 2, z equal to 3. Okay, so therefore remember please that you have to use your knowledge, your logic, okay, while solving this question by using this method. If you have practiced very well, if you complete all questions in your textbooks, I say it is too easy than those two methods, Cramer's method or matrix inversion method. But if you don't practice at home, or you don't complete all these questions of your text, it is too tough comparing with other two methods. You cannot get the answer, you will be confused, and you will left that solution between, or if you finally you will put in some wrong form. So that's why the importance is here practice. Okay, to have some command on this method, the practice is most important, because there is no particular formula is there, no particular algorithm is there. Okay, the thing is you have to select the row operations, suitable row operations. Row operation should be suitable. Okay, row operation should be suitable. It is not depending upon your wish. Okay, suitable operation should be selected, which will give you the final reduced form of the matrix. Okay, some examples questions are here also. Okay, solve the following system of linear equations by using Gauss-Jordan method. X plus y plus z equal to 6, x plus 2y plus 3z equal to 14, x plus 4y plus 9z equal to 36, and 3x plus y plus 2z equal to 6, x plus 2y plus z equal to 4, x plus 3y minus 2z equal to 2, and x plus y plus z equal to 3, x plus 2y plus 3z equal to 4, x plus 4y plus 9z equal to 6. Okay, so simple thing, write first three matrices, then after augmented matrix, and reduce that augmented matrix into the standard form. Finally you will get the answer. That is the things you have to remember. But the most important thing is taking or selecting the row operations. Suitable row operation should be selected, otherwise you will be confused. Okay, so for example, for this first question in this exercise, the augmented matrix will be 1 1 1 6 1 2 3 14 1 4 9 36. Okay, like that. So then starting with the first row, you have to select the proper row operations. Okay, right. So by this session we completed the entire topics regarding these matrices and determinants which are mentioned in our syllabus. Okay, so we will meet in next session, and once again I will request all of you complete all your exercise problems by solving in suitable methods or suitable simplification methods, which will be give you knowledge about this matrices and determinants, and then you will be able to solve all the things very easily. Okay, thank you one and all.